Alright guys, we're in Chapter 2, Aerodynamics of Flight in the Helicopter Handbook. I'm going to be on page 16 and 28, Gyroscopic Procession. The spinning main rotor of a helicopter acts like a gyroscope. As such, it has the properties of a gyroscopic action, one of which is precession. Gyroscopic precession is the resultant action of deflection of a spinning object when a force is applied to this object. This action occurs approximately 90 degrees in a direction of rotation from the point where the force is applied, or 90 degrees later in the rotation cycle. Examine a two-bladed rotor system to see how gyroscopic precession affects the movement of the tip path plane. Moving the cyclic pitch control increases the angle of the incidence of one rotor blade with the result of a greater lifting force being applied at the point in the plane of rotation. This same control movement simultaneously decreases the angle of incidence of other blade and same amount, thus decreasing the lifting force applied at the point in the plane of rotation. The blade with the increased angle of incidence tends to flap up. The blade with the decreased angle of incidence tends to flap down. Because the rotor disc acts like a gyro, the blades reach maximum deflection at a point approximately 90 degrees later in the plane of rotation. Figure 2-29 illustrates the result of forward cyclic input. The retreating blade angle of the incidence is increased and the advancing blade angle of the incidence is decreased, resulting in a tipping forward of the tip path plane. Since maximum deflection takes place 90 degrees later when the blades are at rear and front respectively. Get a picture. Figure 2-29. As each blade passes the 90-degree position on the left in the counterclockwise main rotor blade rotation, the maximum increase in angle of incidence occurs. As each blade passes the 90-degree position to the right, the maximum decrease in angle of incidence occurs. Maximum deflection takes place 90 degrees later. Maximum upward deflection in the rear and maximum downward deflection at the front, and the tip path planes tips forward. Alright. In a rotor system using 3 or more cables, the movement of cyclic pitch control changes the angle of incidence of each blade in appropriate amount so that the end result is the same. Alright, that was pretty much page 16. We'll stop it there and go into vertical flight, page 17.